Right, so we're just pretty much a day away from June, and we're pretty much deep into rugby season here in New Zealand, and we've had the first televised schoolboy rugby's game. As you know, schoolboy rugby is pretty much like college football in the US. So we had Sky showed Nelson College versus Marlborough Boys. It's sort of a local derby because yes, there's Nelson Blenheim. They're in the same Tasman Rugby Union, and they're not. I mean, they are neighboring cities. Although it does take. It's not like going from let's say it's not like going from San Francisco to Oakland. Although mind you, given the traffic on the Bay Bridge, it probably takes the same time to get from down on San Francisco to Auckland, than to the Eds going from Nelson to Blenheim. But anyway, I digress. So yes, there's a bit of rivalry. As you know, Nelson College is the oldest. I'd say it's the birthplace of rugby. I'm not sure. I was going to say oldest school in New Zealand, but I'm not. I mean, might have to be stand corrected on that because Auckland Grammar and Wellington College might argue that. But in any case, it is certainly has claimed to be the place where rugby was born in New Zealand. The first game of rugby was played involved Nelson College. So yeah, so certainly a big name in New Zealand college, high school, college. We call it college here, rugby. And yeah, so they were there was a big moment in the game, sort of just before the end of the first half. The Marlborough Boys were awarded a penalty. What happened though? So you would have seen an intro, and I'll try and slow it down here. So, Marlborough Boys given a penalty. I'm not going to go into names because I don't know the players intimately and their names, but yeah, look, the kicking tee is placed, which would suggest that Marlborough Boys had elected to go for to take the 3 points. What transpired, of course, yes, if you would have seen on the video, that instead of the kicker puts a grubber through into the end goal, of course, and there's absolutely no one, the Nelson players are sort of expecting, they're just sort of regrouping, waiting for Marlborough Boys to kick the 3 points because it's pretty much right in front. Instead, they concede a try in the corner. And yeah, as it transpired, yes, it was a key moment as Marlborough Boys had a big win against Nelson College. Look, I wouldn't say that is the one moment that Marlborough Boys played really, really well. So to say that was the one moment that won them the game would be a bit disrespectful. And but yeah, certainly, I guess a try is always going to be a big moment. Certainly in a game that was fairly low scoring for it was a close competitive game between two regional rivals. It certainly it certainly didn't help Nelson College, but yeah, so there has been a lot of talk, debates on the social medias, that sort of thing about, certainly, your Nelson legend of Marty Bang, Smith of Damien McKenzie's, even Sky Sports has gone onto it. Lots of people have commented whether it was a try or not. And I guess, look, I'm not here to provide the answer, but I'm here to provide, I guess there are a couple of sides to it. There's the rule where, obviously, the well-known rule is if the team elects to take the 3 points, they have to, then they can't suddenly just, you can't just suddenly decide, oh, I'm going to put this grubber kick in to score a try. Although obviously rugby being professional, these coaches, there might be ways of getting around that where, look, I guess, and we've seen this many times, kickers, taking shots at goal, the ball hits the post and the other side regains the ball. And I guess a lot of defending teams are aware, keep your eyes because they might run onto it. But in that case, yeah, like the general view is that the the kicker had actually the movement of the kicker was intended for the post, not to score a try. As you can see in this video, though, the gestures were clear that Marlborough boys were gonna, go for this play of, looking as if they were gonna take the 3 points by going for the corner and to score a try. As you can see, because you can see the kicker is, he's clearly, his face is turned towards the left wing, which would suggest something's up there. I guess maybe Nelson College should have picked it up, but in any circumstance, I guess naturally in any circumstance, you would have thought that he was kicking for goal. I did see an interesting comment. I'm not going to quote the person, but and I guess I didn't really see the game. There was talk that maybe the referee was not quite up to scratch and certainly tended to favor Marlborough boys, and this was probably one that should have been disallowed. And the general consensus is that this is not a try. I have tended to figure. Looking at the footage over and over again, I'd say, this probably shouldn't be a try. I think it's quite clear the T's put in there. So Marlborough boys have decided to take a kick at goal, take the 3 points, and by all. Whilst yes, the laws, you could argue that there is some freedom in the laws that to allow what Marlborough boys did, and you can loosely, whether you can interpret, whether that he actually did try and make his footwork was show that he did try and make an attempt to kick a goal, but look, I mean, for me, it's not in the sport, not in the spirit of the game, and I guess certainly in schoolboy rugby, you don't really want to be resorting to those sort of tactics. So the general view is, and I guess no, it's not. I guess, and my initial thought, it's not a try, and but I guess technically it could. Technically it feels like it could. Having looked at the rules, so you can there's an argument that it is a try. But so look, at the end. Look, I guess it's schoolboy rugby, so it's only going to resonate with a couple of diehard rugby fans, and so you got Nelson College, Marlborough boys, college fan, people of Nelson, Marlborough. But look, certainly if we, I certainly wouldn't expect to see something like this repeated in the pros. You never say never, and but. And if it did happen, I think we certainly would be having this debate, and World Rugby would be looking at the rules. If they're not already looking at this game, because I guess this game was televised. So watch the space. But look, what are your thoughts? Should Marlborough boys have been allowed to score that try, or and if it was, is it do the rules actually allow this? And if the rules do allow it, is it actually against the spirit of the game, as a lot of people have said? So I'd like to hear thoughts. It's an interesting one. Now I thought I'd be talking schoolboy like to hear your thoughts. And of course, if you like this video, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe.